Hi Glendale, I'm Meg Keller and you're watching the 13th episode of the Glendale 411. Many students couldn't imagine working with their spouse every day, but two Glendale staff members do. Michelle Lewis and Cameron Clymer have the story.
Mr. and Mrs. Ewing have been married for 32 years and have worked together at Glendale for 16 years.
Working alongside Mrs. Ewing, she constantly reminds me of thinking of better ways to do things.
I think we learn from each other. I mean, our roles are way different, so we learn from each other.
Making each other stronger.
It's never been a problem at any case. We have friends that will say, we can't even clean the garage together without getting into an argument, but that is not the case for us. So it's just been a joy. It's been rewarding. It's just a good setup.
Of course, going to work together and coming home together for 16 years.
He most usually drives, and I usually put my mascara on.
Favorite memory with working with Mrs. Ewing just is every single day.
After working for 30 years in education, Mr. and Mrs. Ewing have decided to retire together at the end of this year.
We both were able to, and we've just come to a point where we felt like it was the time. We've worked together this long, so we feel like we're ready to retire together.
We just pretty much do everything together, so we decided to retire together.
Working at Glendale as a counselor has given me a lot of opportunities to work with fabulous students and parents and a community. There's never a dull moment.
I've learned just how to treat people in the best way possible. Constant reminders of how important all people are.
Taking everything they've learned from Glendale, the Ewings look forward to retirement.
We're going to take it easy.
Oh, a couple things that sound interesting to me. Our ice cream taster, run for president. No, just kidding about all those. Actually, I think just take a gap year, just kind of reflect and relax a little bit, and then think about what we want to do for the next 30 years.
Two students from our staff won an award in a national documentary contest. Katie Blades and Mackenzie Mundy have the story.
Two Glendale students won honorable mention in CSPAN student cam competition.
So I decided to participate in CSPAN with Michelle. And honestly, our media teacher, Miss Baxley, she got a poster about the contest, and Michelle and I were like, oh, we should enter that too. So we did.
Overall idea of the contest was, what does it mean to be an American? And we looked at the Declaration of Independence and how it says that all men are created equal, and how today people of the LGBT community, particularly like homosexuals, aren't really treated equally. So we explored this idea.
We love the student camp competition because it demonstrates the great kind of capacity of the students around the country to take hard topics, complex topics, and then really break them down. So this is a really big competition. You know, over almost 3,000 videos entered, over 6,000 students participate. It's national. Sarah and Michelle won honorable mention in this year's documentary competition.
Whenever we found out we won, Michelle had texted me the night before, and she was like, hey, the awards are going to be announced tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And so then in the morning, I didn't think about it. I really thought we were going to get nothing. And I woke up at like 8:15, and I saw a text from Miss Baxley and a text from Michelle.
I got an email, and it said that like CSPAN winners, and I thought, oh, maybe it'll just be like a link to the website. But it was like, congratulations, you won. And I was like, I could not believe it. I was dumbfounded, honestly.
I wasn't expecting it, and I didn't realize what an honor it was until Miss Baxley kept saying they're going to come to Glendale, there's going to be a press release, and then we were like, wow, this actually is a big deal, and we're really proud.
I think I've grown a lot from this experience. We worked for, I think, a good 2 months on this project, so we've learned how to edit things that we didn't know how to do before, and so since we spent so much time together, we also, I think, became better friends.
I could not have done this without Mrs. Baxley, my media sponsor, and then Michelle for pushing me whenever I wanted to give up and just not do it anymore. And I'm really grateful for this experience.
The national phenomenon of axe throwing has recently come to Springfield. Connor Skinner and Tanner and Harper Brady have the story.
Tommy Hawks is a locally owned and operated, also veteran owned and operated indoor axe throwing venue. A lot of the time we have people in here that have no idea axe throwing is even a sport that people do. So we get a lot of new people, also people that know a lot about axe throwing in general and come in, then they still find themselves learning new stuff.
So there's two different styles of throwing that we do here. Missouri style is just one that we came up with. It's really simple and fun. We take everybody through individually, teach them how to throw, like I said before. But then the Waddle is the World Axe Throwing League, so that's what's been hosted on ESPN. In December, they just hosted their first national championship, so it's a very wide, it's gaining a lot of popularity. So we do league nights similar to bowling. So if guys are good enough and they want to try out the league night, we do that. And then that actually can rank you nationally and you can compete for cash prizes and different things like that.
Whenever anybody comes in that hasn't been in here before, they get 2 hours of throwing. Along with, we have one of our 7 coaches in here that are all very well trained. We all know what we're talking about really well. We spend about 15 to 20 minutes teaching people how to throw, teaching people about the sport of axe throwing, the history of it, and then after teaching them all that, we do one-on-one coaching with people to get them really consistent with their throwing before we actually leave them to be for a while. And then no matter what, over that course of 2 hours, any one of us that are there, it doesn't have to be the person that taught you, we're all available to show up, come back, teach you guys some more, help you, give you some more tips, stuff like that.
So Tom, my husband, he is Tommy of Tommy Hawks. And he started building custom tomahawks just in our garage as a hobby. And so through that, indoor axe throwing was becoming a really big sport, kind of trickled down from Canada. And he was like, we need to open one in Springfield. And I said, game on, let's do it. So here we are a year later. So we create an experience for people. Not only are we veteran owned, so Tom spent 20 years active duty in the Army. We're veteran owned. I feel like people really enjoy that aspect of it. I mean, he was a Ranger, so he went to Ranger school. So a lot of people that know about the military are like, okay, I'm gonna go have Tom teach me how to throw axes kind of thing. So that's kind of what sets us apart in that sense. We're also locally owned. I'm from here. I graduated from Ozark. So a lot of people enjoy the veteran locally owned aspect of it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check us out on social media at the Glendale 411. Signing out, I'm Meg Keller.